I just wanted to go over the psychology of the trades that I took today. Today, I was able to make a little over 40%, and the I actually left the trade a little too early today, but I followed my rules. My rules were that I was gonna take profit at around 30%. I was gonna start considering taking profit. I wanted to do this new trading style where I pace myself, and I just pace myself, and I just don't rush the process. And what I told myself was that I was going to put up 1,000 per trade, and if it goes up 30%, I'm just going to take the 30% and be happy, and just try to build my account off of a $300 a day. Because what I did was I had a margin account, and I almost blew the account. It was I probably took a $30,000-$40,000 loss. I stopped calculating my losses, and so I started a whole new cash account, and I've been trying to start with the least amount of money, because I know that if I can't manage $1,000 account, then I'm not going to be able to manage a $10,000 account. If I can't manage a $10,000 account, I'm not going to be able to manage a $100,000 account. So I'm realizing that it all goes back to the principles of percentages, and I need to stick with my rules. So today, yesterday, I've been trying to stick with just SPY and QQQ. So I've been trading SPY and QQQ, but I've kind of been, it just feels to me like we've been trading on the high side. And yesterday was a weird day. It was a weird day, and we were trading kind of sideways. I was able to get in and out of some trades with some profit, but we were pretty much trading sideways for most of the day. So I didn't really see a clear breakout from what I was seeing yesterday, and I was kind of anticipating on today being bearish. So I stayed away from SPY. It opened up at around 600, and then it opened up. Well, this was today. It opened up around. My computer's lagging. It opened up around here around 600, and 600 was my entry. Like, my entry yesterday was 650 for puts. I was playing the downtrend. I was trying to play the downside yesterday, and I made a little money from here to down to here. I think near the end of the day, I made some quick trades. So I wasn't too comfortable buying calls into the day. I knew Nvidia was kind of high. I've never seen Nvidia at these levels and hold for this long. So I've been kind of like, I was scared to play SPY and QQQ. So, last night I made a video about Tsla and how I've been watching the volatility and the big price moves, like today, $17.51 move in comparison to like SPY, a $3.40 move and a $3.50 move. So I'm like, damn, I mean, if I could get in on this volatility, this move right here, a $17 move, you can make a lot of money off of. So, damn, it moved $17 today. That's amazing. I definitely got out of my trade too early. I ended up getting in Tsla earlier at around 313, and I sold at 321. But I wasn't trading Tsla. I was actually trading TSLS. TSLS. TSLL? I was trading TSLL. And I ended up getting in at around it was around 1170. I could show you my exact entry. I waited for open, and I was waiting for direction. I didn't immediately jump in. The direction was going down, and I waited to find support. So this is where I drew my support line, and I noticed that it really didn't range much in the pre-market. It stayed in the zone. It wasn't really no big pre-market highs or low jumps. So I wasn't sure which direction it was going in. Based on what I was seeing, it was on an uptrend. It had already crashed from Thursday, when Trump and Elon fell out. So I figured this was time for a bounce back, a reversal. Right here, it showed me a sign of a reversal. It went up, and then it kind of trended sideways for that day. It went down, and then I watched it go up. So I was like, damn, I want to end on this action. It looks like Tesla's trying to get back over 300. So I wanted in on this action, but I didn't want to spend the money for the Tsla contracts, which costs $1,000 for a weekly, sometimes more than that. So what I did today was I jumped in Tsll, which is a directional ETF that follows Tesla, and the contracts were only a fraction. I was able to get in a contract at $11 for only the contract was $110, and I ended up making a profit. I bought two of them for $220, and I ended up making a profit of $93 on those contracts, which is pretty good. Because if you think, I made around 40%. So had I put up $1,000, I would have made a quick $400 today off of this same trade. Or if I put in $10,000, I would have made $4,000 today off the same trade. So it was a nice move. I sold too soon, but at the same time, I stuck to my rule. My rule was, when you see 30%, be happy with the 30% and take it. A lot of times we'll want to see, we put up 100, we want to make 100, but a 50% or 40% trade is great in my eyes. And if you want to build an account over long term, I think this is going to be the strategy that I'm going to have to take, because when I get too greedy, I stay in contracts too long. Most times they end up going against me. So I don't want to be on that side of the trade anymore. And if I see that I'm in the green, I'm going to take my money, and then I'm going to wait for another buy opportunity on another day, or possibly on another stock. Yeah, so I was able to get the contract. I got the contract this morning at, like I said, I bought it at $11, and it went up to $12.75. It went up over $1. But that was enough move. That was enough for me to make 40% on the trade. And the contract ended up going up. Let me see, with the $11. It ended up being worth $187. So when I bought it, they were only $110. So the contract went up $77 per contract. So it ultimately went up. Let's see. It went up 77 per contract. I got it for 110, so that was $77 I made. So had I bought 100 contracts, then I would have made $7,700. And 100 contracts would have costed $11,000. They were 110 a piece times 100. So the contracts would have cost me $11,000. It would have cost me $11,000 to make $7,700 today, $7,700, and which is pretty great. I think that's the type of money that everybody wants to be making, $7,700 a day. You make that type of money, let's say even 100 days out of the year. How many trading days are there? A couple hundred. Let's just say you did that. 100 days out of the year, 1/3 of the time. You'd be you'd be up 7 million. Am my eyes right? Oh, that's 770,000. Yeah, my eyes, something in my eye. 770,000 for the year, which is a great year. And that move that I made, it happened when I jumped in the trade. I actually went to sleep afterwards, and I woke up and I was up almost $100, and I think it went up to almost 100 at one point, and I got greedy and I was starting to stay in the trade a little longer. And maybe I should have, but maybe I shouldn't have. It could have just as easily reversed on me and went another way. So I ended up taking what I want. I ended up taking what I wanted out of the contract, and I kept it moving. And I'm gonna fight again tomorrow. But tomorrow, I think I might scale up tomorrow. Instead of doing just 200, I'll do 500 or 1,000. This was my first time trading Tesla, so I just wanted to make sure I won the trade. And I'm more so about percentages and winning trades now than I'm about trying to get rich quick. So I was proud that I closed the trade. I made one trade today, and it was a great trade. It was over 40%, and I turned off my computer and I went about my day. And I think by the time I closed the trade, it was about noon, and I went and got a haircut, and I was done for the day. So that was pretty much what happened. Let me show you. Hey man, I'm doing a video. So I entered right here. What's up?
Oh.
Hold on.
Are you gonna be up all night?
Yeah, probably.
Alright.
You gonna be up all night too?
Yeah.
All right. So I entered. Okay. I entered right around here somewhere. So we're looking at it. Like I said, it was around. I know I got in below 1175. I got in somewhere around here in this area where I noticed we reached the floor. I noticed yesterday some we broke out of this resistance and this became support. This area right here. So I figured if we fell below, I charted it on Tesla. I wasn't even looking at TSL because I knew it was going to go in the direction of Tesla. If anything, TSL was going to be late. So I charted the trade out right here on Tesla. This is where I entered right here. I went right here after it retested this support. I went ahead and it broke out of it. I went ahead and entered the trade right here. So I know I was under three. I was in the low 311s, and it went from 311 to 326. I got out at 3. This is when I got out the trade. I got out at around before 12. I probably got out around right here. 3. No, this was before it took off. I got out probably right here. Yeah, I was out the trade by 11, and then it started pulling back, and then it just went to the moon. And I was telling my friends, I was like, yo, this is about to go to the moon. And he was like laughing at me. And, it was crazy because the contract didn't expire till Friday. So I actually could have sat on this contract till Friday, and I'm probably going to be smacking myself later, come Friday because, they have the robot taxi coming out. So I'm thinking it may continue. I could easily see Tesla at 350, 360 by Friday. I could easily see that being possible, and I'm probably gonna smack myself for selling this contract so early. But one thing I did was I stuck to my rule, and I just want to stick to my rule for at least a month. I've never done that before. I've never stuck to any set of rules. I've just been doing this as I go along, and I just want to see what the outcome would be if I just stick to a rule. So today I stuck to my rule. I got a good, and I watching videos, and guys are like, hey, you're never gonna be able to catch the top. You may every now and then, but it's about just catching a move and catching the move that you want to catch. And I caught the move I wanted to catch. It was right here. I got in right here around 311. I think it was around 311.60 at the lowest maybe. I got in like right here. I rode it to 321, sold. It went up. It's actually still going up right now. 325. It pulled back a little bit. I think it's going to be at 350 by the end of the weekend. We'll see what happens. This purple area right here was where I defined my stop loss. I figured if it broke below this support that it had already broke out of, then we were in trouble and we were going to be going backwards. And this was my first time trading Tesla, and people have been scaring me out of trading individual stocks because of the volatility, but I like the volatility. I came from trading crypto, so I don't have a problem with volatility. It's just all about having a plan and getting in and out of these trades, knowing what zones you want to be trading in, and I did it today. So like I said, I told myself if the trade went down to this area, then I was just going to get out of it. I was probably going to wait till it broke out of this box, but once it was in here and it wasn't going back up, then this was my scary zone. And the goal is for me never to even see one of these bars to ever even hit my scary zone. So but it was defined. So yeah, that was my trade for the day. I made over 40%, turned $220 into $93. So I'm up 40% on that trade. Yes, did I wish I put more on it? Yes. So I made $46.50 per contract. So the contracts are 110. So had I spent had I bought 5 of them, it would have been $550. So 46. What is it? 46.50. 46.50 times 5. $232, which is a cool day. Times 30. 7,000 a month. Easily. I mean, well, not gonna win every day, but that was basically the trade today. So let's go to this trade, Tsla. So yeah, here's the trade right here. TSLL, $90 win. I got greedy and bought a $5.99 out the money SPY contract yesterday, and I didn't sell it when I was supposed to, when I let it bleed out, and I lost 72 on that. So I took a loss today, but as you can see, I'm green on all my trades prior. Um, I'm rarely losing. I'm not risking much money. Getting some nice gains, and yeah, we're gonna scale up. We're gonna probably scale up next week, but I'm just happy getting back in the game, practicing my strategy. I jumped around today, but I didn't get too carried away. I just bought a couple contracts. I didn't get too greedy, and that's just mainly what I'm practicing: my discipline and not being greedy, knowing when to jump out these trades, knowing when to enter them, and once that's mastered, the amount of money that is made, it's you just add a zero. So this $90 just could have easily been 900 or $9,000 today, or $90,000 today. And I know it sounds unbelievable. People are like, how's he making $90,000 in a day? It's just putting up the money. You just got to put the money up and not and be believe in your trades and not be scared to take that risk. But it was a green day, a good day. A green day is a good day. I'm thinking I'm gonna jump back in this tomorrow. Hopefully we can get some pullback. Hopefully what I'm hoping for, if I can just get a little pullback down here tomorrow, then if I could just get some pullback over in here, then I'll jump back in the trade. But we'll see what happens in the morning. I'd rather be out of the trade with my profit than to be sitting in the trade and then it crashes in the aftermarket or the pre-market, or so I played it safe. I took my money, and hopefully we could get back in right here around the VWAP. The VWAP is at 318, so this will probably be a good place. You see it's kind of right in the middle of my box. So yeah, if I could get somewhere in the lower part of this box, I think I'll re-enter and ride it up tomorrow and see how that plays out. So yeah, that was my trade for the day. Hope you got something out of this.